Good evening, I'm Aiden Crowley.
And I'm Jensen Neck. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio.
Historic floods didn't just destroy homes in eastern Kentucky, but also damaged schools, government buildings, and businesses.
Amy Kiley reports how communities are lacking access to basic goods and services.
Everywhere you look, there's trees, there's power lines down, there's remnants of houses.
Picking up the pieces in flood-ravaged Kentucky means more than rebuilding homes.
We have insurance, but not flood insurance.
Some essential businesses are shuttered. This grocery store is the only one in the rural community of Isom. Its owner vows to reopen. For access to medicine, the governor's letting pharmacies dispense some emergency refills.
People are going to need a lot of help. We're going to need more resources than have come in to this fund right now, 4 or 5 months from now.
The State Department of Education says it expects 11 districts in 7 counties to delay the start of school. It had been set for next week. Some first responder facilities are damaged too. The fire chief who owns this truck says he was in it and parked at the fire station when floodwaters rose.
I reached and found my pistol in the back seat and I shot the window out of my Chevy.
Even buildings that are intact might not have power, all while a heat wave sweeps the state. And some people might not rebuild at all.
If they didn't have flood insurance or FEMA or something like that, steps in to actually help. This is the end of the line for this community.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Just like the flooding in Kentucky, St. Louis, Missouri saw severe weather last night, and rescue crews are out searching for missing people. On top of these flooding events, the heat wave has led to death in Georgia, and a wildfire in Oregon has exploded in size. Forecaster Jack Demler takes a look into what our area is seeing.
Yeah, Jensen, and we are seeing those flood concerns reach our area. Athens currently under a flood watch. There are concerns of flash floods expected to come as we head into the weekend. And taking a look at the local radar, there you see the precipitation start to make its way into our area, bringing in showers and thunderstorms. We are expected to see some showers and thunderstorms tonight and heading in to the weekend as well. But taking a look at Athens currently, we are currently seeing 87 degrees, mostly clear skies, a couple clouds in our region, but it felt a lot hotter than 87, and that's because of the high humidity. A humidity of 62% makes it feel like 94 outside. It's been hot and muggy all day. And taking a look at temperatures across the region, Athens 88, but surrounding areas we've been seeing mid to high 70s, heading into the 80s. Will those temperatures last? Find out in my full weather forecast. Aiden?
Thanks, Jack. A West Virginia woman faces up to 20 years in prison for accepting more than $40,000 in Paycheck Protection loans under a federal COVID-19 assistance program. Alexis Ransom of Logan pled guilty yesterday to wire fraud in Charleston federal court. Ransom obtained 3 Paycheck Protection loans guaranteed by the Small Business Administration under the CARES Act. She admitted falsely stating her 2 businesses established in 2019 had substantial income. Her sentencing is set for November 16th. Traffic confusion in Athens could soon come to an end thanks to city leaders. Newswatch reporter Jacob Mata talked to community members to hear their opinions.
Witt's Frozen Custard sits on the corner of West Union Street and Court Street. Inside hangs a sheet of paper tallying the number of cars employees see turn the wrong way at the intersection.
We see it all the time, every day. Come move-in weekend, we'll get 4 or 5 in a day.
But soon, all those wayward drivers could be a thing of the past. The city is hoping to have Court Street along with the one-way stretches of West Union and North Congress Streets transformed into 2-way streets. Jay Miller, a manager at Witt's Frozen Custard, thinks the changes are a bad idea.
One way down Court Street, I think, is a good thing, because the way these kids gun it down the street, 2 ways is just they're gonna start hitting kids left and right.
Some Athens residents are open to the idea but wonder how it will affect the city.
I am curious to see what happens with it. I don't have too much of a strong opinion on changing the traffic on Court Street.
Business owners hope if changes are made, they will be beneficial to them.
As an owner of a business, I am interested to see if that changes the traffic flow, hopefully increases the number of people coming uptown and finding I am definitely curious to see what happens with parking.
Mayor Steve Patterson says he's been thinking about the changes for years, and with state grants to make improvements to Washington and West State streets, which cross Court and North Congress, the timing could finally be right. For Newswatch, I'm Jacob Mata in Athens.
Health officials are investigating after several West Virginians developed a flu-like illness from working closely with pigs. These pigs exhibited respiratory symptoms and fever at the Jackson County Fair. The state's health officer, Dr. Ann Undum, says fever, running nose, sore throat, cough, or congestion usually show up 1 to 3 days after exposure to livestock. The State Department of Health and Human Resources say they have confirmed one human test of influenza and forwarded the sample to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Ohio University is taking the summer to prepare for predicted enrollment numbers they have not seen in years for this fall's incoming freshman class. Newswatch reporter Olivia Roman has more on how educational faculty will be impacted by this increase.
Most faculty are excited, as Ohio University has been struggling with enrollment since 2017. The predicted incoming first-year student class size is creating a buzz among faculty and staff.
I think it's really exciting that so many prospective students want to come to Ohio University.
But with the potential for record enrollment comes concerns the university isn't prepared for all those students after cutting faculty and staff levels in 2020 as it addressed budget issues. English professor Joseph McLaughlin says he and other faculty members predicted the university would be in this position at some point.
There is a certain kind of, I told you so quality to what's going on here. Enrollments go up and down, and we can't be constantly firing and hiring faculty on a roller coaster kind of cycle.
Some faculty also say bigger classes will change the dynamic between students and professors. Instructors might rely more on tests over essays in order to adjust to more students in the class.
You just can't increase the class size infinitely and not have impacts on the way the course is taught.
Another area of concern, the university's plan to hire tenure-track faculty.
We're concerned because we don't see any plans yet from the university for hiring tenure-track faculty.
In an email response to our questions, Provost Elizabeth Sayers says the university has been closely monitoring and preparing for the upcoming school year. Sayers says they continue to monitor enrollment throughout Bobcat student orientation, adding more sections as well as some more faculty hires as sections filled. The colleges are also already working to plan faculty needs for the next few years to meet the needs of larger incoming classes. As student enrollment increases are not evenly distributed, staffing plans are different for different departments and colleges. Programs that have been growing have been hiring faculty over the past few years to support student enrollment. For WUB, I'm Olivia Roman in Athens.
WNBA star Brittany Griner is facing 9 years in prison after being found guilty for drug smuggling. What this means for U.S.-Russian relations. And the Louisville police officer who shot and killed Breonna Taylor are being charged. We'll tell you what charges they face, these stories, and more when Newswatch returns.
That's beyond cool. That's epic.
On Finding Your Roots, filmmaker Alejandro G. Iñárritu.
I always has been curious what make me what I am.
Performance artist Marina Abramovich.
Okay, this made me very proud.
And painter Kehinde Wiley.
This is intense.
Warriors, soldiers.
So who's a fighter?
Powerful ancestors.
It's like being descended from royalty.
Wow.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
This is life in an African wild dog family. Endless mouths to feed, and a gaggle of teenagers to control. Two parents must keep everyone safe in an unforgiving wilderness. These woodlands are full of lions, the dog's mortal enemy. They compete for the same food, and their war is never ending.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
My brother and I were sleeping in our bedroom, and all of a sudden, some bricks and rocks were being thrown through our window. My brother looked outside and he said, "Susie, It is our neighbors that are throwing the bricks and rocks through the window.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, would the value of this Western painting leave you speechless?
It's a classic Western scene. It is a Utah scene, and that makes it somewhat rare.
His work is highly coveted and desired. It really is a very special piece.
Okay. Find out more next time on Antiques Roadshow from the Hotel Del Coronado in Coronado, California.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
WNBA star Brittany Griner is facing 9 years in Russian prison after being found guilty of drug smuggling today. The Biden administration denounced the sentence, saying she's been wrongfully detained. Chris Wynn looks at the verdict and what this could mean for U.S.-Russian relations.
In Russia, WNBA star Brittany Griner was found guilty of drug smuggling and sentenced by a Russian court to 9 years of jail time.
This is a miscarriage of justice.
On February 17th, Russian prosecutors say the two-time Olympic gold medalist was arrested with less than 1 gram of cannabis oil in her luggage at a Moscow International Airport. Griner claims it was an honest mistake due to packing in a hurry, saying she had no intent to break any Russian laws.
We have the big picture of, the relations between Russia and the United States, which right now are abysmal.
President Joe Biden released a statement saying in part, Russia is wrongfully detaining Brittany. It's unacceptable, and I call on Russia to release her immediately so she can be with her wife, loved ones, friends, and teammates. American officials on the ground also reacting to the verdict.
I will continue to do everything to care for the safety and well-being of Ms. Griner and of all U.S. citizens detained in the Russian Federation.
The Biden administration has proposed a prisoner swap for Griner and U.S. citizen Paul Whelan, who was convicted of espionage in 2020, which he denies, in exchange for convicted Russian arms trafficker Victor Bout.
One of our true sports heroes. And it's really hard to look at this and see that person in that cage.
Griner's legal team said they will appeal the verdict, but analysts have raised concerns that she is being used as a political pawn in Russia's war against Ukraine. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
4 Louisville police officers involved in the botched 2020 raid on Breonna Taylor's home are now facing federal charges in connection to her shooting death. It's the first federal charges brought against any of the officers involved. Brett Hankinson and the 3 other officers were arrested today, and Attorney General Merrick Garland made the announcement this morning. Garland said the officers have been charged with civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracy, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction. The officers barged into 26-year-old Breonna Taylor's home investigating a drug operation. Taylor was not a suspect or a person of interest in the investigation. Months of protest followed her death.
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi met with the National Assembly Speaker of South Korea, Kim Jin-pon, the latest stop of her tour of Asia. They discussed the security of the Indo-Pacific region, economic cooperation, and climate crisis. That's according to Kim's office. Pelosi landed in South Korea last night, local time, following a historic visit to the self-ruled island of Taiwan. She will be headed for Japan next. Airlines are seeing passenger numbers take off after the pandemic pause. Why the recession may impact this growth. That story is still ahead.
And we've seen some hot, dry temperatures lately, but will that continue into the weekend? Find out in my full weather forecast when Newswatch returns.
That's beyond cool. That's epic.
On Finding Your Roots, filmmaker Alejandro G. Iñárritu.
I always has been curious what make me what I am.
Performance artist Marina Abramovich.
Okay, this made me very proud.
And painter Kehinde Wiley.
This is intense.
Warriors, soldiers.
So who's a fighter?
Powerful ancestors.
It's like being descended from royalty.
Wow.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
This is life in an African wild dog family. Endless mouths to feed. And a gaggle of teenagers to control. 2 parents must keep everyone safe in an unforgiving wilderness. These woodlands are full of lions, the dog's mortal enemy. They compete for the same food, and their war is never ending.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
On country music, a new sound comes out of California.
I think for me, Merle Haggard all by himself saved country music.
Loretta Lynn brings a fresh perspective to country.
Whatever's in that woman's heart comes out her mouth.
And Charlie Pride blazes a trail of his own.
Once they heard me sing, I don't care if he's green, I like his singing.
When country music continues.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, would the value of this Western painting leave you speechless?
It's a classic Western scene. It is a Utah scene, and that makes it somewhat rare.
His work is highly coveted and desired. It really is a very special piece. Okay.
Find out more next time on Antiques Roadshow from the Hotel Del Coronado in Coronado, California.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
And once again, taking a look at Athens, we are currently in a flood watch. We are expecting there are concerns of flash floods heading into our region as we head into the weekend. And you can see today, we saw a temperature high of 91 degrees with a temperature low of 69. Showers were expected throughout the day, but we didn't quite see those throughout the day. However, we are expecting them as we head into tonight. Taking a look at the local radar, there you see the precipitation making its way into our region, bringing those showers and thunderstorms that we're expecting to see tonight as we also head into the weekend. We'll be seeing a lot of showers, and that is from this cold front that's making its way into our region, bringing showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. And heading into tomorrow night, you will see that cold front sort of stall in our area, force the warm front out, bringing in a lot of showers and thunderstorms. However, for tonight, as I did mention, we are expected to see some showers, 80% chance of showers with an overnight low of 69. And those showers are going to stay as we look tomorrow. 90% chance of showers with a temperature high of 82 and a temperature low of 68. The temperature is starting to drop as that cold front starts to push through. And those showers are going to carry into our weekend. Saturday, 7 degrees with a temperature high of 85 and a temperature low of 69. Sunday, a temperature high of 86 and a temperature low of 69 with 50% chance of thunderstorms as that cold front stalls in our area. So if you plan on going out this weekend, be sure you pack a raincoat or bring an umbrella because those showers are coming and they're going to be here for a while as we look into next week. Monday, 60% chance of thunderstorms with a temperature high of 85 and a temperature low of 68. And then temperatures will drop below 80 for Tuesday and Wednesday. 79 degrees is going to be the high for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Those showers are still going to linger around. 70% chance of showers for Tuesday, 50% chance of showers on Wednesday. A temperature low of 62 on Tuesday and a temperature low of 65 on Wednesday. But on Thursday, we are expecting to see clear skies, a couple clouds in our area, a temperature high of 83 and a temperature low of 56. So we will expect to see that cold front sort of move out of our region Tuesday and Wednesday. However, we do have to get through the thunderstorms and showers in order to get to those clear skies. So again, as I mentioned, if you plan on going out this weekend, be sure you bring a rain jacket and an umbrella with you.
Thanks, Jack. Airlines across the world are grappling to meet demands following the pandemic, but recession fears and soaring inflation may impact that travel boom. Jen Sullivan has more on why the travel industry appears to be thriving amid a possible economic downturn.
As the peak summer travel season winds down, travel experts say Americans are still spending money on their vacations, despite historic inflation and recession fears.
While consumers are starting to pull back on some discretionary spending, some things they don't have to spend money on, it's not holding true for travel.
Several travel industry leaders say demand is still high. Scott Kays, founder of the flight aggregator website Scott's Cheap Flights, points to several factors, including a rise in credit card travel spending.
American Express noted that travel spending was up nearly 150% in the previous quarter.
That's despite fears of an economic downturn on the horizon. Experts blame that on so-called revenge travel, the huge travel boom following years of lost vacations during a pandemic slump. Meanwhile, Airbnb says reservations are soaring. On Tuesday, the company announced a 24% increase in bookings in the 3 months that ended in June, compared to the same time period in 2019. And when it comes to hitting the road, gas prices are declining. On Wednesday, the U.S. national average price of a gallon of regular gas was $4.16, according to AAA. Compared to a month ago, that was $4.81. And experts say cheaper prices are ahead.
While motorists may be incentivized by prices that have been falling, more decreases lie ahead.
On Wednesday, OPEC, the world's oil exporting countries and its allies, agreed to a tiny increase in production next month, amid fears that a global recession will hurt demand. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The U.S. Department of Transportation is proposing new rule changes, making it easier for airline passengers to get flight refunds. Under the previous DOT rules, airlines were only required to pay back ticket charges if there was a significant change to the timing of the plane's takeoff. But now the DOT is proposing passengers could get a refund if the arrival or departure times are moved by at least 3 hours, or if they face other lengthy changes. The summer travel season has been especially tough. The tracking site FlightAware says about 40,000 U.S. flights have been canceled since Memorial Day.
Coming up in sports, how accountability plays a role in the success of the Jackson Ironman. That story and more when Newswatch returns. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station. This is my hype music right here.
On country music, a new sound comes out of California.
I think, for me, Merle Haggard all by himself saved country music.
Loretta Lynn brings a fresh perspective to country.
Whatever's in that woman's heart comes out her mouth.
And Charlie Pride blazes a trail of his own.
Once they heard me sing, I don't care if he's green, I like his singing.
When country music continues.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
On America Outdoors. When you think of wild spaces in America, where does your mind go? I'm on the edge of the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. As I take in the scenery around me, I start to see how wilderness isn't just a place. It's a feeling.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
That's beyond cool. That's epic.
On Finding Your Roots, filmmaker Alejandro G. Iñárritu.
I always has been curious what make me what I am.
Performance artist Marina Abramovich.
Okay, this made me very proud.
And painter Kehinde Wiley.
This is intense.
Warriors, soldiers.
So who's a fighter?
Powerful ancestors.
It's like being descended from royalty.
Wow.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
This is life in an African wild dog family. Endless mouths to feed. And a gaggle of teenagers to control. Two parents must keep everyone safe in an unforgiving wilderness. These woodlands are full of lions, the dog's mortal enemy. They compete for the same food, and their war is never-ending.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
The Jackson Ironmen were just 2 games away from being named state champions last football season. Newswatch reporter Silver Barker talks about how the team reached this success despite a rocky start.
Ready? Eyes on his face. Where's he looking? Where's he looking? Where's he looking? Where's he looking? Brody, I like it.
Accountability.
Come on now. Come on, Tuck.
It's what the Jackson Ironmen relied on after the injury of starting quarterback Evan Spires early in the season, and what motivated running back Jacob Winters when he stepped up to replace Spires.
I'd say the number one thing is accountability. You got to be able to go into war with all your friends and teammates and to never back down from anything.
Though the Willersburg game closed the door for Spires,
it was awful that it happened, but it did have its pros.
it opened the door for Winters, winning his next 7 games.
He took the reins and ran with it. He had a great season, threw for over 1,400 yards, really in half a year when you think about the time. But then be able to run the ball like he had, I think close to 25 touchdowns. You're throwing and running both. So he's the catalyst of the offense for sure.
And he believes with accountability from him and the other seniors as they lead the team can result in another good year.
If you're going to be a leader, you have to be a guy everyone has to look towards. If you're taking a play off, taking a rep off, you don't have any accountability.
Hall is also hoping to see a great turnout as he reminds the players where hard work can get them.
We took a tour to Canton this summer, went to the Hall of Fame and visited the state championship site. And I told the kids, I said, I want you to see this place because the ultimate goal for, of course, everyone is to play their last game in this stadium. No team in Jackson's ever reached that.
Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Silver Barker in Jackson.
The first game for the Ironmen will be August 19th against the Logan Chieftains. Ohio football's preparations for the 2022 season are in full swing. Day 2 of training camp took place earlier today with the season opener just under a month away. Ohio has 21 practices in its fall camp as it looks to improve from its 2021 campaign. Defensive coordinator Spence Nowinski is a new addition to the Bobcat coaching staff and has quickly found his place in Athens.
It's been really awesome. It really has, and the people have been so welcoming and wonderful, and it's been about as good as a transition can be. Moving and stuff like that for my family, that's not always great. I've got kids that are 13 and 10, so that's usually always the challenge. But as far as everything else, here, OU, the people of Athens, it's been awesome.
Nowinski is excited to lead the defense for the Bobcats this season. The 2022 NFL season begins tonight with the Hall of Fame game. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Las Vegas Raiders are the two teams playing in the game that kicks off the preseason. Both teams will face off again in Week 9 of the regular season. Kickoff is from the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton at 8 p.m. Now we have a lot of exciting football action. We'll go back to Ohio football. We heard words from Spencer Nowinski. Super excited to see what he's going to do to shape the defense for Ohio this season.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I just see a lot of depth within this team, so I'm very excited to see what this upcoming season holds.
Yeah, and I like how quickly he gets assimilated to Athens, even when he was coming from a rival of Miami, you know what I mean? So it's nice to see he's settled in nicely. Thanks, Maria. And for our last story tonight, the Cincinnati Zoo has a new baby hippo. Officials at the zoo say BB, a 23-year-old hippo, gave birth to a calf late last night. The yet-to-be-named baby hippo is healthy and already walking. The mother and calf will spend the next 2 weeks developing a bond away from the public eye. However, zoo officials say they will post photos and videos when possible. The calf has an older sister, Fiona, who became a celebrity after the story of her premature birth went viral in 2017. Fiona even has her own web show and several kids' books about her story. And now to Jack with a final look at weather.
Taking a look at Athens tonight, an overnight low of 69 degrees with 80% chance of showers. So if you plan on going out tonight, please make sure you pack a rain jacket or an umbrella because those showers are coming and they're going to stay for a little while. As we take a look at tomorrow, and a temperature high of 82 with a low of 68, 90% chance of showers. And again, those showers, they're sticking around for the weekend and heading into next week. Saturday, Sunday, showers all the way till Wednesday. We should be expecting those to clear up come Thursday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jack. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Aiden Crowley.
And for Jack Demler and Maria Manassi, I'm Jensen Next. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Hocking Valley Bank, offering mortgage loans or refinancing on an existing home, making it easy for dreams to become a reality. Hocking Valley Bank, we know loans.